Hi, I'm Iggy, the Investing Iguana, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you the ultimate guide to SRS for tax relief in Singapore. If you're looking for a way to save more money for your retirement and pay less taxes, then you've come to the right place. But before we get started, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified of my latest videos. Thank you for your support. So what is SRS? SRS stands for Supplementary Retirement Scheme, and it's a voluntary scheme that allows you to save more for your retirement on top of your CPF savings. By contributing to SRS, you can enjoy tax benefits such as tax relief on your SRS contributions. You can claim up to $15,300 per year if you're a Singapore citizen or permanent resident, or up to $35,700 per year if you're a foreigner. However, there is a personal income tax relief cap of $80,000 per year, so make sure you don't exceed that limit. Tax-free investment returns. You can invest your SRS funds in various approved products such as stocks, bonds, ETFs, robo-advisors, and more. The returns from these investments are not taxed until you withdraw them from your SRS account. 50% tax concession on withdrawals. When you reach the statutory retirement age, currently 63 years old, you can start withdrawing your SRS funds over a 10-year period. Only 50% of the withdrawals are taxable, which means you can effectively have your tax rate. I see SRS as a tool to help me save for retirement. It helps me in two main ways. Way number one, it saves me money on taxes. When I contribute to my SRS, I get a dollar-for-dollar tax deduction. This means that if I contribute $1,000 to my SRS, I'll save $1,000 on my taxes. Way number two, it forces me to save money. If I don't contribute to my SRS, I'll only earn a measly 0.05% interest on my savings. That's not even enough to keep up with inflation. So, by contributing to my SRS, I'm forced to save money and invest it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Iggy, I'm not disciplined enough to save money. I'll just end up spending it all. Well, if you're like me, then you should definitely consider making SRS contributions. Because once you put your money into your SRS account, you can't touch it until you reach the statutory retirement age. This is actually a good thing. It forces me to put my money away for the long term and not panic sell whenever the stock market drops. So, if you're looking for a way to save for retirement and you lack discipline, then I highly recommend making SRS contributions. Also, you get to enjoy tax relief. I know what you're thinking. Iggy, I hate paying taxes. Well, who doesn't? But the good news is, there are ways to reduce your tax bill. And one of those ways is through SRS. When you contribute to your SRS, you get a dollar-for-dollar tax deduction. This means that if you contribute $10,000 to your SRS, you'll save $10,000 on your taxes. Now, I know what you're thinking. Iggy, I don't have $10,000 to spare. Well, that's okay. You can contribute any amount to your SRS, even if it's just $100 a month. And the best part is, you can use your SRS contributions to invest in a variety of financial products, including stocks, bonds, and even cryptocurrencies. So, you can not only save money on taxes, but you can also grow your wealth at the same time. Of course, there are some restrictions on SRS withdrawals. You can't withdraw your money until you reach the statutory retirement age. But even then, you'll only have to pay taxes on half of your withdrawals. I'm going to talk about how much money you can save on taxes by contributing to the Supplementary Retirement Scheme, SRS. Now, let's say you contribute $10,000 to your SRS every year. The amount of taxes you save will depend on your income tax bracket. For example, if your income tax bracket is more than $20,000 and less than $30,000, you'll save $200 for every $10,000 you contribute to your SRS. This goes all the way up to the tax bracket of more than $120,000 and less than $160,000, where you'll save a whopping $1,500 for every $10,000 you contribute. Now, the numbers may not look significant now, but let's put things into perspective. Let's assume that you worked for 30 years and that your average tax bracket is more than $80,000 and less than $120,000. If you contribute to your SRS every year, you'll save about $1,150 times 30 equals $34,500. That's enough for a down payment, or half, thanks to inflation, for an HDB. The savings alone are a huge win factor for me. But that's not all. SRS contributions also grow tax-free, so your money has the potential to grow even more. So, if you're looking for a way to save money on taxes and grow your wealth, then I highly recommend considering SRS. It's a win-win for everyone. Nevertheless, there are situations where you should not contribute to SRS. Well, there are a few reasons. First, SRS is ultimately meant for retirement. If you withdraw your SRS money before the retirement age, you'll be hit with a 5% penalty and your withdrawals will be fully taxable. Second, there are other ways to save for retirement that don't have the same penalties. For example, you could contribute to your CPF, which has no penalties for early withdrawals. Third, if you're struggling to make ends meet, you might want to consider using your money for other expenses instead of topping up your SRS. After all, you can't withdraw your SRS money if you need it for an emergency. Of course, there are also some reasons why you might want to top up your SRS. For example, if you're self-employed and don't have access to a CPF, SRS can be a good way to save for retirement. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to top up your SRS is a personal one. You need to weigh the pros and cons and decide what's best for you. So, if you're looking for a way to grow your SRS funds, you have a lot of options to choose from. But which one is right for you? Well, that depends on your individual circumstances and risk appetite. If you're risk-averse, you might want to consider investing in Singapore savings bonds or fixed deposits. These investments are relatively safe and offer a predictable return. If you're more risk-tolerant, you might want to consider investing in ETFs or blue-chip shares. These investments have the potential to grow your money more quickly, but they also carry more risk. Of course, you can also mix and match different investment options to create a portfolio that suits your needs. No matter what you choose, it's important to do your research and understand the risks involved before you invest your SRS funds. But if you're patient and invest wisely, you could end up with a tidy sum of money by the time you retire. For example, if you put in 10,000 Singapore dollars per year over 30 years and earn an average return of 4%, you'll have about 583,000 Singapore dollars in your SRS account when you retire. That's enough to live comfortably in your golden years, so it's definitely worth considering investing your SRS funds. Now, I know what you're thinking. Iggy, I'm not going to live to be 100. How am I going to withdraw my SRS money without paying taxes? Well, there's a way. It's called the 40K tax-free withdrawal strategy. Here's how it works. You contribute $7,000 to your SRS each year. You invest your SRS funds and earn an average return of 4%. By the end of 30 years, you'll have about $408,000 in your SRS account. You can withdraw up to $40,000 each year tax-free. You can do this for a maximum of 10 years, so you can withdraw a total of $400,000 tax-free. That's right, you can withdraw $40,000 each year from your SRS account and not pay a single cent in taxes. Of course, this only works if you have no other urgent needs for your SRS money. But if you're like me and you're planning to retire early, then this is a great way to maximize your retirement savings. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please give us a like to show your appreciation. It helps us know what kind of content you find useful and valuable. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Here at the Investing Iguana, we're passionate about helping you achieve your financial goals with ease and peace of mind. And we have a lot more to share with you. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos, where we'll explore other important financial topics like how to use CPF and SRS to boost your retirement savings, how to invest wisely and safely in the stock market, and how to make your money grow faster and smarter. We're so grateful to have you as part of our Investing Iguana family. Your support enables us to keep creating free content like this. Remember, every like, share, and subscribe makes a difference. Thanks for watching today. Keep investing, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.